Making your way through life is frequently like swimming against the tide of a river. The tides can be placid at times and raging at others, but the flow is always the same. The psychological and self-help fields have used the term flow to describe this state of natural, unforced engagement with one's surroundings and activities. To be in a state of flow is to be in a state of harmony, in which your thoughts and actions are perfectly in tune. It's like setting sail without a compass to embark on a trip, without knowing where you're going. It's easy to get carried away by the diversions and unexpected storms that arise in the great ocean of life. But if one has well-defined objectives, that road will be lit, and movement along it will be easier. These goals, which spring from an individual's deepest yearnings and interests, act as a compass to help one find their way back when the road ahead is rocky. They are more than just indicators of accomplishment. They serve as constant guides that link every move to a greater goal. While objectives might help keep you on track, being in the flow isn't about following a script to the letter. Instead, it's about letting oneself be naturally attracted to these ends. When one spends time doing things that get them closer to their goals, they feel a surge of motivation and are able to concentrate more intently on what they're doing. This euphoric feeling goes much beyond the mere accumulation of accomplishments. It perfectly captures the thrill of setting out on an adventure. A person's life unfolds in a seamless manner in the tapestry of existence, where countless threads of thoughts, actions, and distractions intertwine. When they take steps that are in harmony with their goals and dreams, the power of focus is what draws one to and keeps them on the path that leads to their goals. Taking on this perspective is like putting on a magnifying glass. It brings clarity to the hazy and makes the intangible real. It's not enough to simply focus on less. One must also refine their focus by eliminating distractions and focusing on what's most important. A person's inner objectives become more clear when external disturbances recede, allowing them to take steps toward their goals with complete confidence. True focus, however, isn't aggressive. Instead, it develops organically whenever a person's actions are in tune with who they truly are. When you're in this mindset, you're able to fully appreciate each and every moment. Focusing the mind grounds a person in the here and now, maximizing one's potential to enjoy and benefit from this moment. Here is where focus and intention meet to produce outcomes that surpass expectations. Human judgment is fallible, yet a concentrated mind is necessary for creating great art, as Leonardo da Vinci so eloquently expressed it. The beauty of this magnetic attraction lies in the fact that it constantly regenerates itself. Consistently engaging in activities that feed one's passion creates a positive feedback loop. Over time, the individual gets increasingly attuned to this flow, easily pulling experiences, opportunities, and knowledge from the world, indicating that when one genuinely concentrates on their path, the universe conspires to help them forward. Sometimes, in the great dance of existence, the dancer merges with the dance. This is the fundamental essence of being unaware of one's own existence. As the lines between doing and being blur, it becomes impossible to separate the two. These moments aren't reserved for only the most talented performers or the best athletes. These are not only personal achievements, they are available to anybody who pursues a goal with unbridled enthusiasm and a clear head. The unprecedented liberty that this state grants is truly astonishing. Without the shackles of our own or other people's judgments, our whole potential can emerge. We stop acting to impress or stand out and start behaving in accordance with who we truly are. When the mind is free to roam, ideas flow like water from a well. Many have reported experiencing a cosmic dance-like connection with something larger than themselves when in this mood. To be oneself in a society that is always seeking to transform you into someone else, as Ralph Waldo Emerson put it, is the supreme achievement. This quote hits home for me when I think of flow. It is not the goal of loss of self-awareness to destroy the self, but rather to find the true self. When we temporarily shed our social masks and false identities, we catch a glimpse of our true, limitless selves. These occurrences, however, are not random occurrences, but indicators of our true nature. Recognizing and appreciating these moments increases the likelihood that they will happen again. The path forward is bringing one's life and actions into harmony with this flow, eventually arriving at a point where everything blends together without effort or thought. Flow is a time-bending phenomenon. Engulfed in it, clocks appear to lose their grasp, and hours might feel like passing minutes. The fact that you can't tell reality from fiction is evidence of the deep immersion that comes with true interest. When one is completely absorbed in what they are doing, time's incessant ticking recedes into the background, and they are able to live in the now. This immersion leads to a deeper experience where every moment is vivid, packed with detail and subtlety. There's a message about the nature of our existence hidden in this warped view of time. Many of us are slaves to the clock, constantly on the go from one commitment to the next, with hardly enough time to catch our breath in between. In states of flow, however, we remember that excellence, not quantity, is what really matters. How we spend the time we have is more important than how much time we have. By intentionally engaging in pursuits that put us in a state of flow, we may enrich our lives by getting the most out of each and every moment. But how can one make time travel work for them so that their lives become more streamlined? The first step is to actively seek out and foster situations that promote focused attention and sustained effort. By giving these times top priority, we are able to forget about the past and the future, if only for a little. The secret isn't in trying to stop time, but in realizing that our perception of it is entirely within our control. The clarity of an instantaneous response is essential to the flow state, a dynamic in which every action has an equal and opposite reaction that aids in the journey's navigation. This notion of immediate feedback is not just about learning new things. It's also about the newfound tempo and harmony it brings to our daily lives. A person in flow responds to the input they get in the same way a dancer responds to the rhythms of the music by changing their motions and tempo. It acts as a real-time compass, pointing people in the direction of their objectives and helping them stay on track to achieve them. The beauty of this feedback loop lies in its capacity to level off bumps on the road to a state of natural ease. It's like having a steady anchor beneath you, keeping you from wandering too far from your intended route. Maintaining receptivity to input from both the external world and internal signals allows for the making of fine-tuned changes before problems become severe. Having a more in-tune relationship with one's responsibilities and surroundings is fostered by this never-ending feedback loop, leading to a place where life truly does flow naturally. Finding that sweet spot between our abilities and the difficulties we're up against is central to the experience of flow. Think of yourself like a tightrope walker. To your left lies a world where everything is too simple, resulting in boredom and a lack of interest. To your right, obstacles too large, forcing you into uneasiness and doubt. The magic of flow, however, occurs just where your feet are planted, at the intersection of difficulty and expertise. This harmony keeps us from feeling overburdened or uninspired, while also keeping us properly engaged in every activity. Dr. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, who has studied the notion of flow extensively, has said, "Flow is the kind of feeling after which one nostalgically says, 'That was fun.'" The act of working itself may be made more pleasant if it is organized to promote flow. This is the essence of the principle in question. When we apply our strengths to problems, we not only get more done, but we also feel more at peace with ourselves and the world around us. Nonetheless, the balance is not static. To keep that fine equilibrium as one's abilities grow, one must constantly seek out new challenges. Pursuing flow proactively guarantees that our lives will continue to improve over time. It's a never-ending tango of development and excitement, wherein the high of being in the zone fuels the need to learn new things, which in turn necessitates ever-increasing difficulty. It's not enough to just strike a balance between difficulty and mastery. One must also be in touch with one's own capabilities to keep life's exquisite choreography, where every step, turn, and jump is an effortless part of the dance of existence. One must recognize personal progress, acknowledge new skill levels, and then recalibrate obstacles. Experiencing flow in life is like being a skillful captain who confidently and masterfully steers their ship through the currents of the river of life. The feeling of being in charge of one's own activities, in service of one's own wants and needs, is the essence of personal control in the setting of flow. Having the ability to respond proactively is what matters, not the ability to influence external factors. Having this control allows one to steer their experiences in a good direction, ensuring that goals are achieved while also being harmoniously woven into the trip as a whole. An effective method for fostering this feeling of mastery is the 3 R's strategy. Recognize, reflect, and redirect. You must first become aware of the times you feel helpless or bewildered. Change begins with self-awareness. Think about how you got to this point and what caused this reaction. Clarity can be gained by identifying the underlying reason. Finally, shift your mental and physical resources into pursuits that get you closer to your goals. Consistent use of the 3 R's will help you develop a solid sense of self-management, which will serve you well in the face of the ebbs and flows of life. Flow isn't only a temporary spike in deficit. The greatest benefits, however, are typically discovered in the process of getting anywhere. The sheer act of doing becomes the major source of fulfillment when one immerses oneself in activities and challenges that are ideally linked with one's talents and passions. When your priorities are lined up like this, you stop worrying so much about the final product and start enjoying the journey. As one gets deeper into the process, their every move becomes a ballet of intent and enthusiasm, and the final result becomes less important than the trip itself. However, in a culture that so heavily emphasizes results, adopting such a frame of mind demands conscious effort. Seeing the worth in the process itself may be a game changer. It requires shifting attention from what lies ahead to what is happening right now, embracing the present moment and relishing each part of the journey gives the most enduring pleasures that are frequently concealed in the intricacies of the journey. In this sense, flow transforms the doing itself into a type of aesthetic expression, where the process is its own reward. Flow is not just an emotional or mental condition, but also a way of life. It's the undercurrent that drives passion, feeds creativity, and bridges the gap between the normal and the remarkable. The identification, integration, and effortless manifestation of these 8 traits constitute a universe in which aspirations are not only pursued, but lived.